Let's begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Podcast 76. I'm Rusky D.
And I'm Gray.
And last week was our anniversary. This week is Overwatch's anniversary.
Yes, now you may think this is a little bit strange, because surely these two things should be in sync. We started the Podcast 76 with the start of Overwatch, right? But not quite. You see, right before Overwatch was officially released, they did an open beta week, and we actually started putting these episodes out during that open beta week.
But we were playing in the closed beta.
Yes.
Why didn't we start recording then?
Well, that's because we were originally doing it as a part of a different podcast.
Oh, we actually were, weren't we?
We actually
That sounded
were.
like I was doing one of those, Gray, please tell me more, I don't understand. But actually it was like, Gray, please tell me more, I'm an idiot. I can't remember what I did myself.
Yeah, no, we were doing the podcast as a part of Critscast, which you can find at critscast.com, part of the podcast network. And yeah, so we were doing it with Critscast, and then because it just became too much of a topic by itself, it was
we were
eating
doing
way
TF2
too much.
and Overwatch in one.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was
It was just too
messy.
much. It was too much. So we split them off, and Rusky and I are now doing Podcast 76.
And that's how your mother and I brought you into the world.
Yes, congratulations on our bouncing
Excellent.
baby podcast that's just turned 1 week.
One and a bit, yes. Except I don't know how that. Maybe this is the Queen's birthday. You know how she gets 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, things that have happened this week. Well, there's been an update, and it's been a big update because it's been the anniversary update, which is good.
Yes.
There's a Lore Bible. There was a Twitch celebration. Kaplan has done some IGN secret videos. Well, the videos aren't secret. They're about secrets. That makes sense. There is a PC Gamer interview. And contenders, are you ready? Which is an old Gladiator reference.
Yeah, nobody gets that because it's an English thing, but it was fantastic.
No, it's not even an English thing. It's an English old person thing.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's
niche.
It is very niche, but it's part of our blood, so we made the reference.
Part of our history. Yes.
So the update.
The update. I don't feel, because, okay, we're recording this on the Thursday. I don't feel I've really had time to absorb everything yet, because it came out 2 days ago, and there's a lot to it.
There is a fair amount to it. Where do we start? Do we start with, like, the stuff that we don't, like, it doesn't matter that much, like the skins, the dances, etc.? Is that a good place to start?
Yeah, okay. Let's start with the skins and dances.
So first of all, loads of skins released. I think they're all of them are legendary.
Yeah, all legendaries. I was quite sad because I thought, you know how they just have pictures of the legendaries normally, or they did last time?
Yes.
And then the epics were just thrown into the game. I went through the game looking for the epics, and there were none. And I was like,
But they did do a lot of legendaries.
Yes, I thought there might have been a Reinhardt epic sometimes.
But you got the Eichenwald thing relatively recently.
Yeah, I can't complain. I love those skins so much.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they ever manage to release a skin that persuades you to move off that, because I kind of just associate it with you now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could
Well,
happen. Oh, in fact... No, we'll get to that later, but remember to get me to talk about the Griefheart skin in relation to Reinhardt's dance.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was actually going to move straight onto the dances because there have been a whole bunch of...
But we haven't talked about the skins yet.
What do you want to say about the skins? Except
Okay.
for
So good.
they're kind of delightfully silly, is the way I'd put most of them.
Okay, so yeah, let's not go through them individually. You can look at them yourself, and you should look at them yourself, dear listener. But I want to talk about them being silly and why that's good.
Yes.
Okay, so we were playing a couple of days back, I think. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember.
Yesterday.
And someone playing with us, not like that, said they really hated some of the skins.
And that made you rather happy.
Yes, I was like, no, this is good. It's really, really good that you hate some of the skins. And here's why. If you try and make any creative product or creative endeavor which is going to please everyone, then ultimately it's going to end up a bit bland. Because people have like this wide range of tastes and people like one thing over another. And if you try and please everyone, you end up with this kind of average thing, which just isn't... I mean, it'll be good. You can get some very good stuff that everyone likes, like pop music, say. But if, say, all of the skins in Overwatch were pop music, I think that'd be a bit sad. I want some death metal. I want some, some skins that some people, like maybe a niche, maybe 10% are going to be, this is the best skin ever. And 90% are going to say, this is awful. That's really good. That's pushing envelopes. That's pushing boundaries. That's really bold for a game like Overwatch, and I think it's wonderful.
Well, I also think that it's really good in terms of getting people to be wearing different skins.
Yes, exactly.
I really like the idea that we'll get to a stage where the skin that you wear is kind of representative of you. Because I remember the very, very early days when Overwatch had just come out, where pretty much every Genji wore the same skin, the Bedouin skin, because that was the only cool skin. It was just the skin that I don't know how cool it is.
What was the other initial skin with Genji?
There was the chrome one, and then there was the kind of carbon fiber one.
But was Bedouin the only legendary?
Bedouin and Nomad.
Oh yeah, which are just recolors essentially.
Exactly. And now you're actually beginning to get more diversity in what Genjis are wearing, and I'm quite liking that.
Yes, it's kind of expression, right? Which is what clothing and skins should be.
Absolutely. So I'm all thumbs up for this. I am very glad that Genji has been brought onto the Power Ranger team.
Yes.
I don't know. There's
and Zarya too. Actually, she's a Power Ranger as well, right?
I think it's a slightly different reference.
It probably is a different reference, but it looks very similar to me. I'd say that I really don't like the Zarya skin, but some people really like the Zarya skin, and that's awesome. In fact, the skin that I dislike the most, this is a kind of odd angle to take it, is actually the Lucio skin.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why?
Because it doesn't make sense. Okay. The Lucio skin... Right, here's, I think, also why I dislike it is because it feels like they almost attained brilliance, but they just went a bit too far. So I love the idea of like having a kind of smooth, jazzy, kind of more kind of smart Lucio. I think that's phenomenal. But then the way that they styled his legs to look like a saxophone, like what possible justification is that in like the world that Overwatch exists? Why would Lucio have saxophone legs?
Why wouldn't he have saxophone legs? If those legs are made out of like some thin carbon fiber material, which are kind of protective of the mechanical stuff inside, why wouldn't you style them however the fuck you wanted them to? Like you can get weird body kits for your cars. Yeah,
maybe you would, but then I guess I find it somewhat vulgar. I'm very much a kind of person who likes form to follow function. So having like all extra like pipes and stuff coming out of his legs, it just doesn't work for me.
Maybe it's a prototype for an instrument that he's going to play with his legs.
Maybe the noises come out of his legs.
Maybe.
For instance, those are actual sound tubes.
Yes.
And they reverberate noise through his legs.
Along with a plethora of...
But again, I love that loads of other people absolutely love Lucio's skin. And I think that's wonderful. I
think it's my favourite skin of his, because I actually don't like many of the other skins.
Lucio does not have very many good skins.
No.
There's lots of Lucio mains out there who are just saying, you people suck, you have no taste. But this is it. The diversity of taste.
Yep.
That's
thumbs
what
up.
This anniversary thing symbolised for me.
One other thing. May seems to be kind of like the Pyro from TF2 in the cosmetics she gets.
What kind of goofy, weird things?
Goofy, weird things which don't necessarily make sense with her character. I think the Pyro had a lot of very similar cosmetics.
Her playstyle is very similar to the Pyro too.
It's very true.
It kind of makes sense.
Yep, it does make a degree of sense. It's just something that occurred to me.
Okay.
Also, everybody got a dance emote. Literally everyone, except for Reaper, sort of, who just stands there moodily and taps a foot.
He's too cool to dance, obvs.
But instead of getting a really cool dance, he did get a shrug emote, which, quite frankly, is fucking fantastic.
That wasn't in the notes, was it?
No, it wasn't in the notes, but he did get one. There are a couple of other emotes out there, so I think Sombra got a sitting emote.
So did Orisa. Have you seen Orisa's sitting emote?
I haven't checked that one out. There's actually a lot of new stuff.
Orisa's sitting emote you need to see is absolutely adorable.
Okay.
I actually think it might be the best bit of animation in this release.
Oh, that's impressive.
Okay, she kind of walks around in a circle like a cat before sitting down, and it's adorable.
Oh.
Like, I didn't really connect with Arissa's character before this emote, but now I've seen this, I really feel, Arissa, okay, I'm starting to get it.
Okay, no, I'm down with that. That's really quite adorable. I need to see this.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Dance emotes are kind of like varying levels. Some of them have some very weird references.
We should talk about the inspirations for the dance emotes, that they are all... I can't remember which interview that Jeff was saying about this in, but he was saying that all of the dance emotes where they kind of sat down and thought, how would this character dance?
Yes. Pretty much all of them are very direct references to other things that they think represent that character, it seems.
They're not always representational of like individual things, though.
Okay.
For instance, Reinhardt's waltz is just generic waltz. It's not like some are from a specific bit of media, but some aren't from a specific bit of media.
Yes. Fair. So
Yes.
things like the Zarya Zarya dance is from an aerobics video, which a lot of people are familiar with because very similar stuff was done for TF2 not too long ago.
Yep.
The Genji one is I was just like, what are you doing? And then I looked it up, and it turns out that is a dance from a group in Japan who do literally dance exactly like that. So
Sounds
fair
kind
enough.
of appropriate. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't work it out at first. Genji's dance seemed odd to me.
It still looks odd to me, but it is exactly what they are doing in the video.
Okay, then.
And if you want to see a whole load of that stuff, there is actually a History of the Dances video. It doesn't cover all of them, but it does cover a lot of them. One of the ones I think it misses is actually the Tracer Charleston dance.
Oh, no, that's in there.
Is that in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that one was missed. Anyway, but there's loads of them. Go check them out.
Yes. One observation about Reinhardt's dance. If you do it with the Griefheart skin, okay, so Reinhardt's dance is waltzing with his hammer as his partner. With the Griefheart skin, you have the ivy coming off the hammer, and it kind of acts like hair.
Oh, like hair?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, because it's up top, isn't it?
It's jiggle-boned, exactly. So it flops around like his partner's hair. And I found that utterly charming.
I thought it was going to actually be the other way around, where he was holding, like... So the head of the hammer was by the floor.
Why would the head be the floor? You don't dance with your partner's head by the floor. I'm never waltzing with you, Gray. That sounds like a terrible idea.
It's a different style, but it works.
Okay.
But I was just thinking maybe that the ivy was trailing along the floor like a dress.
Oh, well, that would have been quite cute too. But no, it kind of, the hair
But
thing.
no, I
like
see how the head being the head makes a lot more sense.
It's a head, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else cosmetic that's worth talking about? Everybody got sprays, loads of new voice lines. First Genji voice line that I like.
Which one's
referencing
that?
the Princess Bride, saying, "You seem nice, I hate to kill you."
Yes.
I haven't liked any of the Genji voice lines. This one, thumbs up.
Yeah, lots of the usual content. There wasn't much in the way of sprays. I was expecting a lot more different sprays.
Oh, player icons. So one thing that I've noticed is that, every hero obviously has a player icon, and they are just the stock player icon for that hero, but in gold.
Shiny.
But what I do quite like is the drop rate seems to be dramatically higher than usual.
For you, maybe.
I've got a lot of them. Maybe it is just me. Maybe like I've just been really lucky, but I've got loads of the player icons. I get them more than anything else.
Wow. Okay. Well, that gives me hope, because I obviously want the Rhine one, but hasn't dropped yet.
Not yet. Well, you just have to play more, Rusty.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot. Don't you get me wrong.
Excellent. They have added more maps for the 1v1 and 3v3 elimination mode.
Oh, wait. Just on cosmetics still. So for sprays, they got playing cards, all of them. Was that it for sprays?
Yes.
Just the playing cards?
And a generic Overwatch in gold spray as well.
Yes. And some people are complaining that, okay, so they have all the suited kings, queens, and jacks.
Yes.
But then I think Arissa and Symmetra got 9s, which everyone's a bit like, 9? Why 9? That's rubbish.
Why not 9?
Well, I mean, I get that you have. It could have been. Have they got aces? They must have aces. Yeah,
They do have
'Cause,
aces.
yeah, they've gone through the 12, but then they've got so many characters that you just have to have kind of rubbish numbers.
There is nothing wrong with the number
Oh,
9.
no, it's 16, isn't it? Just off the suited cards. Yeah. Sorry, I'm being a derp. Ignore me.
Right. It's all right. But no, I think that makes sense, and it is kind of nice if you have a jack, a queen, and a king to spray them all on top of each other and make a little suit.
Oh, are they leaning at the appropriate angle?
If you find a lean surface, you can lean them and do a little spread.
Okay.
So,
cute,
for example, when you hold the first point on Hollywood, the car, you can do a little spread on there.
Cute. Okay, that's clever. I like it.
It is quite nice. What else? So yeah, there are the 1v1 and 3v3 elimination maps. Very pretty, but I'm not into that mode, so I don't feel like I can judge whether they're good maps.
This kind of made it more interesting for me.
Okay.
I found myself playing a little bit of these. I have in the past also enjoyed when we've been doing 3v3.
It just doesn't quite appeal to me. It's that lack of cohesive team fight.
It does take away the essence of what makes Overwatch good.
Yes.
That I would agree with.
Yeah. But other people clearly enjoy it. It's played a lot, so releasing new maps for that, 2 thumbs up. They're very
Also,
pretty.
we should say that because you can get extra loot boxes for doing those, that is an incentive.
That is an incentive. Definitely play. I think there's 3 where you get a loot box just for winning one. So
one of them's 1v1 though. I just can't be bothered with that.
oh no, I know what you
The
mean.
loot box is hanging there taunting me, but I'm just no, it's
No,
not.
I
happening.
haven't even touched it.
No.
It's just not for me. But if you can stomach it, do it because free loot.
Ooh, other thing about the 3v3s, they've changed how they end.
Oh yes,
Now
and
you
they've
have a capture
given
point
you.
that opens.
Yes, they've also given you a new rule set. So, first of all, what happens with 3v3 is instead of being able to hide all the time and just like turtle up with Symmetra in a little room with all your turrets going, ha ha ha, they have to come here sometime or you draw. What they've done is they've said, well, after a certain amount of time, what we'll do is we'll put a capture point, and it doesn't necessarily appear in the middle. So you can't just camp the middle. But
Does it appear in a random location?
I don't think it's a
No.
random location. I think it's a calculated location.
Okay.
But basically, both players have to go to the capture point and capture it, or kill each other, or you lose. So you can't just turtle up.
It forces the issue.
Yes, absolutely.
Less draws, which is good.
2 thumbs up for that. They've also introduced a new mode for 3v3 elimination, where once you've won with a character, you can't play that character again. So you can't just pick the absolute most optimal lineup and then play it again and again and again and just win with it. You have to be able to play different heroes.
And what is really obvious in this one is if, say, you're a tank main, as I am, then if you end up queuing with another tank main, things get awkward because you run out of tanks.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. But I think it's good for the format. Like, if you're playing this format, having these kind of new rules, very good. Lastly, for 1v1, what they've introduced is a system where they will give both players a set of 3 heroes to choose from. And what you have to do is figure out which one of those not only are you best at, but also counters the other 2 the best. So that every time you're playing, you can be playing 2 different heroes, but you got the choice. I quite like that.
There's an interesting kind of picking meta game, which is now going on with the regular game.
So, they've put some serious work into this, and I think that's very, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to move on to balance?
Well, I mean, all the balance stuff is stuff we've actually talked about before. Have they actually changed anything from when we last discussed this?
The one thing that they've changed that I can remember is that the Orisa Fusion drivers, they were in the not beta, but in the PTR, the damage reduced by 15%. They've brought that back to being reduced by 9%. So that's a very significant change. But at the same time, 9% is very significant damage reduction anyway. So
yeah,
we'll see how that works out.
There's been a lot of undocumented changes.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the ones. So, I mean, obviously one which I have noticed and been keeping a track on is the Reinhardt changes.
Yes. Now, I've heard about this, but I don't really understand it.
Okay, so it seems that... Okay, what's a good way of describing it? They're basically linking the swinging to your ping. So instead of giving you priority to what you've seen on your screen, it does less of that. So it can be like harder. It feels like when you're swinging, it's quite laggy. Although, see, here's the thing. Because I normally play with about 20 ping, I haven't really noticed any kind of problem at all.
Huh.
But if you play with a high ping, then apparently it can be a real issue.
Huh.
What else has changed? People have been saying that Roadhog's hook is leaving people in funny places. I did notice a bit of this.
Okay. I'm in a weird position because Roadhog's hook still puts Genji in weird places a lot of the time.
Right, that's just a Genji thing.
That's just a Genji thing. So, I don't know about
another
this.
undocumented change is they've changed a flank on Volskaya on point 2.
That one does sound like it's a bug.
Tracer can no longer walk along there. Yeah. It just seems very odd that it's changed now and in that way.
Yes.
You have to wonder what they were playing with, like what they were changing that actually resulted in that.
I think there's loads of things where you wouldn't realise that it would have a particular effect. And it's not necessarily in tracing modifying a specific hero ability or even map. Like there'll be something that they've changed that's more underlying somewhere else that they didn't think would affect it and has popped up.
Entirely.
Yeah. They have added a whole load of new things. The kill feed, which I just got to say 2 thumbs up to. Kill feed is just looking better and better.
I find the kill feed a little harder to follow.
That's fair.
What I really want for when I'm playing competitive is I want to not have to press tab to know who's up and who's dead.
Okay.
If I could just have the faces of each team along the top of the screen so that I had a visual reference to see how many people each team had up without having to interpret the kill feed, that would improve my gaming experience.
So I totally agree with you. However, could you not also argue that what that is at a very high level increasing the skill cap?
Is it though? Because you just press tab and you get that info.
On the one hand, but what you're doing there is you're moving away from you're like giving yourself a downside, which is
I'd
can't see.
argue that's increasing the skill cap in the same way that rocket jumping increased the skill cap. It's a non-interesting mechanical way to increase the skill cap that doesn't actually... That's not part of what makes Overwatch good. It's just a fiddly mechanical bit that's attached to it.
Maybe. I could be persuaded either way. I'm just...
It's a fair question to ask.
Okay, cool. What else is there? There are a whole lot of bug fixes and the usual things. I don't think we really want to go over them.
It's exciting, is it?
No, it's not really that exciting. But yeah, so that is most of the update, actually. Is there anything that I've missed? I don't think so.
Wait.
Except, well, things that we may not know about. Because there is an update dev vid. Because Jeff, being his usual lovely self, has recorded a one-take video talking about the update. And at the very end, he does say, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for this update. Now, there are 2 ways that you can take this. One is that there's stuff that he hasn't talked about but is in the game. So I think he didn't talk about all the skins and things like that. So maybe he's just saying...
Well, he did mention skins are in it, is the thing, though.
Maybe, but on the other hand, it is possible that there is more to come for the update that isn't out yet.
Yes.
But we just don't know.
I suspect that this is a misspeaking for Jeff.
Yes.
I'd be
that
very
is my
surprised
suspicion.
if maybe in a week or so they just drop a ton more content for this. Although that would blow my mind, obviously.
It would blow my mind as well. That would be really, really cool.
But here's the thing, because a while back, didn't Jeff say that Symmetra had 2 new skins coming up, or was it Zarya? No, it was Zarya. He said Zarya had 2 more skins coming up. One was excellent, and one would blow your mind. So, does that mean that more stuff is dropping this update? I don't want to. I don't want to get myself on that hype train.
No, I'm going to say that the way that he phrased it, or the way I remember him phrasing it, made it quite likely that it would just be another, like a part of a different update. You get all the skins in one update. So
maybe
skin for this update, skin for another update. Because I think McCree's got another one coming, and so does Widowmaker.
I'm, in fact, because this carries on conceptually, going to jump to the PC Gamer interview. So the actual interview as a whole, it's just a load of stuff we've heard before. They elaborate on some things a bit more. You should read it if you're interested. But Jeff says in that they're planning to make monthly releases of content a thing.
That's kind of ludicrous.
Yeah. That's kind of big, isn't it?
That's kind of huge.
Yes.
Though I can imagine like there being this staggering of things.
Wait. I've got it wrong. That wasn't from the PC Gamer interview. That was from the little bitch in the Twitch celebration video that had Jeff on it. Crap. There's been so much information. It's all jumbling in my brain.
Oh, dear. Well, anyway, interesting piece of information. But I can see how that might work with like, so every 3 months there's a balance patch. And then every month there's a new set of skins. And then every month that, so like there's this quarterly cycle of skins, maps, heroes, balance patches.
I hope they keep the whole like everything trickling in.
Yes.
I think only balancing things every 3 months would feel a bit... I don't see any reason for them to restrict themselves like that. They should balance stuff when they feel stuff needs balancing.
But what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of things which they can add in and kind of stagger it in a way that makes sense. Because at the moment they seem to do like big releases, and that what they could do is like chunk down the releases so you get smaller releases, but you get them more frequently.
Yes, I would like that. I think that'd be great.
I'm good either way, honestly. The game is still just feeling so fresh to me, and it's just feeling in a really good place. I feel like there are so many different ways that you can play that are completely viable now. Mm-hmm. Really, really impressive.
Is good. Okay, let's move on. So this next thing, Lore Bible, we're not going to go into this very much. We're mainly just alerting people to that this is a thing. Basically, someone has written all the lore out in one place.
I think this is a good idea.
Yes.
But it is a bit of a monster document.
It's a behemoth. It's 38 pages.
It is a dissertation.
Yeah, essentially. And the nice thing is they have where each bit is taken from the lore.
I gotta say, that's possibly the most impressive thing about this.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of work, right?
Yeah,
and I'm
absolutely.
very impressed. And that's why we're mentioning it. We don't want to kind of go into it too much because, I mean...
we will be here all week.
Yeah, and we all know lore is a thing, right?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
But yeah, that'll be in the show notes. Check it out if that is your bag.
Another thing that you can check out if it is your bag is some secrets from Jeff Kaplan about Overwatch heroes. Now, I don't quite think of these as secrets because a lot of these, well, I say a lot of them, a few of them were already known.
Some were known before, some are less so.
But they are interesting tidbits about some of the heroes.
There's 4 different videos divided into supports, tanks, defense, and offense. And Jeff gives a tidbit of information about each hero as he goes through. Would you like me to go through all of them really, really quickly?
Yeah, impress me. I was about to say suppress me or imprise me, but...
Suppress me.
Imprise me.
Okay, Anna was originally an alchemist character and they didn't really know where she was going, but then she became a sniper and Jeff was very happy with that. Lucio originally had a slowing time ult. We knew that before, but then Jeff elucidated as to why the slowing time ult was a problem. It's because people on Lucio's team would be running from spawn and then suddenly Lucio ults start hitting and they're thinking, my God, it's taking me a long time to get to the action. This sucks. Mercy was originally called Angelica and Farah was originally called Mercy, which was very confusing for when they started playing and telling people to switch to things. Symmetra, her teleporter originally had an entrance you had to place in addition to an exit, but they decided that was crap, so they changed it. Zenyatta, they put him in as a second healer because they had all these fast characters, mobility characters, so they figured put an orb on them and they can run off and do their stuff. Diva is the most buggy character. She always goes wrong. Orisa, the prototype, we know about this one. They put Bastion's gun on Zarya, whatever. Reinhardt, he was originally the hero that people have been thinking is Shockwave. He was originally a Numbani themed one, driven by a little girl, but that concept was later used for Orisa. Hog, he came from a single picture. That was a single picture of the Junkers from the previous game. They were just like, boom, an entire character, done. Zarya, they included Zarya because they wanted a physically strong female body type. So that's why they did that. With Winston, this was the character that pushed the window of crazy much more than any other character. As in, he's a monkey. Okay, sure. He talks. Sure, we can fit that in. And he's from the moon. Whatever, it's gone so far. We're including it anyway. Great. Bastion has had the most ults of any character, from bouncing bombs to mines you can plant to shooting through walls. They all sucked until we got to the one we have now, which is all right. Hanzo, his ult was originally depicted by multiple spheres in a line because they didn't want to animate all those dragons before they knew what they were doing. All these spheres in a line looked like a caterpillar. So the devs, when they were playing, would shout, "Caterpillar!" when his ult went off. Junkrat originally looked like from Hurt Locker, but then they were like, no, Junkrat shouldn't protect himself. He should have bits of his body blown off, which he has. May was originally called Frostbite, which we already know. Torbjorn. There was someone on the team called Torbjorn, which means Thor Bear, and the team said, that's so cool, we're having a character called Torbjorn. Widow came from the Ranger. We already knew that one already. Genji originally had a backstab like the spy from TF2. You stealth and you insta-kill. They played with that. It sucked. They got rid of it. McCree was basically entirely developed from the Half-Life 2 revolver because they thought it was so cool. So they were like, we're going to have a character that just does this. Farah. We knew this already. Originally Rocket Dude, then became Rocket Queen. Whatever. Reaper originally had Sombra's passive for hunting down weak people. Soldier, Chris Metzen comic, we already knew. Sombra used to have a stealth passive until they realized that was horrible. And Tracer, when they ever described Tracer to people, everyone said, no, that's a terrible idea. A character that can blink across the map in a second and recoil if she wants, you will never, ever be able to balance that. I thank you.
That was very impressive.
Thank you. I did my research.
You really did, but that is the entire thing.
Yeah, I felt there was some good tidbits, so that's why I thought, let's get the whole thing in.
Yeah, fair enough. Good stuff.
What we haven't talked about yet is the Twitch celebration.
Yes.
Which, yeah.
I don't think we're the target audience.
No, it was for people who like the celebrities of Overwatch, like Stylosa and those other people whose names I don't even know.
To which I give a great big shrug.
Yeah. Yes.
Whatever.
Although a complaint that a lot of people have said about it is they kept replaying Overwatch footage that we already have, like the animated shorts and stuff. So that was a bit sucky. And the whole thing, yeah. I guess we just weren't the target audience. Although there was a little bit with Jeffin talking about developers, which had the tidbit of that. Okay, this is a really interesting one. And this is like the bomb that Jeff dropped, which, oh wait, no, this is the other one, I'm thinking.
Much stuff.
Because wait, what did I say was from the Twitch celebration before?
Oh my God, not the tip of the iceberg thing. What was it? I don't remember. Something else.
But yeah, so the PC Gamer interview, the thing in that was that Jeff Kaplan said in terms of character design, he feels they have only scratched the tip of the iceberg in terms of what is possible. And I think that's really interesting.
Yes, because the heroes in Overwatch do feel very filled out, and it feels like they filled a lot of design space.
And I would argue with Orisa, they didn't really bring in any new concepts with Orisa.
That is true.
Now, maybe that's because they were feeling they need to have this anchor tank role filled, but...
Well, I'm wondering if Orisa's design and where they ended up with her was more out of necessity than out of design.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. So, intriguing.
Yeah. But I'm interested.
No. I've remembered it. Twitch... The main tidbit of information was that they're going to release stuff every month. In the interview, it was they barely scratched the surface. Yes, go gadget memory.
Well done. We'll get there in the end.
Totally.
Absolutely. But yeah, there was a long Twitch celebration. I think it's being repeated at some point. You can watch it if you want, or not if you don't. I don't know. I don't think I can personally recommend it, but it may be your thing. If you love celebrities, go for it.
Yeah.
And I think, finally, contenders, are you ready?
Okay,
now,
what exactly is this?
So, this is an interesting way of developing competitive Overwatch that they have decided to do. So what this is if you're in Masters or above, you can form a team with your friends and enter Overwatch contenders. Now, of course, your friends have to be Masters as well, but what you do is you form a team and you can
presume
sign
if
up.
you've got to Masters once, you're good to go, because it would suck if, like, halfway through the competition, someone dropped out of Masters and was like, no, I'm sorry, you dropped out of Masters, we're done here.
I wonder if it's you have to all be masters when you sign up.
Oh, at time of that would make sense.
Because
I'm
that
down
way,
with that.
all at the same time, you're a masters. Okay, you're good to go. But yes, so what you do, form a team with your masters and above friends, and then it will place you in a ladder against other people, and you actually get to compete. And this is a way for people who aren't already known, who aren't sponsored, who haven't been picked up by teams who are already out there, to get themselves noticed. And I think this is really cool. Like, because it's not very easy to create ways in which you can give people exposure like that to competitive. And I think that this is a really interesting way to do it.
It's going to create stars and create hype.
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, also, I think the most important thing here is that the way that the Overwatch League is being set up is it takes a lot of buy-ins, and it feels quite separated and elite. And this is giving a very obvious way that if you are just good and you play good, then you can get noticed and enter that upper echelon.
Absolutely. This is much more meritocracy. And also, I think that America, in terms of their sports, have a very different way of picking people up than in most of Europe. I know
is this the whole college football thing?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because that's what this is kind of reminiscent of. Like this idea of being kind of these small grounded teams where you can kind of like rise up the ranks and begin to get noticed in these kind of lower areas. And then somebody goes, that person's good, we want them, and pick them up.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this entire thing makes a lot of sense. Now, there is a little bit of information that I'd like to tack onto this. One thing that has recently been done by Twitch is they've worked something out. They've developed a piece of software for the Twitch experience, which is overlays on the stream.
Right.
And one of the places they've added overlays is for Master Overwatch. So during a stream, you can actually check out stats of the person who's playing whilst they're playing. And they're beginning to do this for a lot of other stuff. So, for example, Hearthstone has an overlay of its own, and other games as well. But I thought for Overwatch, this kind of makes a lot of sense. Like when you're watching a pro stream, being able to check out all the different people who are playing and kind of have all those interactive
if it had
strats.
a kind of hub screen where you can jump to each of the players, that would be awesome.
But this sort of thing, like, this is something that TV cannot do.
Yes.
And this is an experience that I can totally see, like, because if you remember last week, they were talking about having an Overwatch API. Having this plugged directly into the Overwatch API makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I think there is a huge amount of potential here, and I'm just so excited for that. I think it's going to be really, really cool and really, really good.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see where it goes.
Yeah, so that is 1 year of Overwatch, and I think we really have an exciting year ahead of us. I'm so happy. It's so good.
We should go and play some Overwatch.
I think so.
Okay, good. On that note, we're out of here.
Yeah, toodle bit. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.